What up, YouTube? DTG Nos here, coming at you with something a little bit different. I've gotten a request to check out the Lich King raid deck in solitaire just to see how the deck is actually played, and it's actually very, very good. I really, really enjoy it. It's very, very controlling, very, very similar to the actual raid. It's very, very cool. The raid deck was not what I expected when I bought it, so we're just going to quickly solitaire through it and see what it is all about. The WoW TCG is played very similar to Magic. There's resources and all that fun stuff, but your hero is kind of like a planeswalker starting off, so it's pretty cool. So one thing about the Lich King that's very cool, one, he starts off with 60 health, which is kind of crazy. I thought he was going to be more, personally, but he has an ability called Undeath's Armaments, I guess is what it is. And by turn 3, turn 3 and 4, you get Frostmourne and Helm of Domination out, and then turn 10, his ultimate goes off, and you basically win at that point. So we'll just actually go ahead and start solitaring the deck just to see what's going down. This is actually a very, very terrible hand. Yeah, I'm actually going to redo this one because this is not very good. I did a video before this, but the sound never went through, which is really cool, really terrible. And the hands that I drew from that were really good. So we'll see how, we'll just redo this again and see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, this is good. Okay, so the cards we started off with, we have 2 quest cards, the One True King and Ashes to Ashes. We have an equipment we actually drew into Frostmourne, which is really good. We can turn 1 Frostmourne. The rest of them, and we also have a Necrotic Plague, which is an ability of his. We have Remorseless Winter, the famous Remorseless Winter, Prince Valinar, and a Shambling Horror. So we'll just go and do this. Everyone else starts off first, so they play around. Draw for 8. We have an Infest. So turn 1, obviously, I'm going to play the One True King, tap it out, and drop Frostmourne on the Lich King. So the Frostmourne is just stupidly good, stupidly strong. Whenever it deals fatal damage, it gets a +1 attack on Frostmourne. So it just goes and just, I don't know, it's really good, I think. This card's super good, and you don't have to pay anything to use it. So turn 2, we draw into a Valkyr. Shadow Guard, so we're going to play this quest. And at this point, really, there's not much we can kind of play Necrotic Plague if we wanted to, which I can actually do. I'm going to actually initiate this quest and draw a card. So draw into Rotface, which is cool. Rotface works. Tap this out, and we will play Necrotic Plague on one of our opponent's heroes. So next, turn 3. Untap out. Drew into Vile Spirit. So Vile Spirits are cool. Personally, at this point, I want to keep my options open in terms of things that I can play this turn. That's really good. Question mark. Remorseless Winter is actually more good than I thought it was. So I think right now I'm just gonna not deal with Rotface. I'm gonna throw Rotface down as a resource, and then I'm actually going to play Remorseless Winter. This is dealing a lot of damage to heroes, so it's got 4 counters on it. So assuming that everyone goes around and plays cards, Remorseless Winter going to die at some point within the turn. So turn 4, draw. Pain and Suffering. This card's actually really good too. So I think that I don't want to have to deal with any other guys here. I'm gonna drop the Vile Spirits as a resource. Vile Spirit resource. So we have 4 resources right now. My roommate's playing Command and Conquer, so that's what all of the big booms. He's got a massive sub, so yeah, it's awesome though. So turn 4, I'm gonna tap out to Shambling Horror just to give some protection, as well as drop Pain and Suffering. And in Pain and Suffering, just get to wait right now, and everyone's got -2 attacks, so it's good. So we're gonna chill right now and let it go. and then my turn rolls around. Remorseless or Pain and Suffering dies off. We get to deal 4 damage to each hero. Um, Next, turn 5, I'm going to draw. And actually, one thing that I definitely forgotten to do was activate his other effect, was to get Helm of Domination and put it into play. So, just gives you an extra 5 health to deal with oncoming heroes. As if this deck didn't have enough craziness already. Alright. So turn 5 we drew into Defile. Defile is just each opponent discards a card, then turns a resource face down, and then destroys an ability or an equipment. So it just kind of like just neg threes your opponents. So that's pretty solid. I'm gonna drop Infest as a resource because I really don't feel like playing that right now. Um, Tapping out and playing Prince Valinar. Prince Valinar lets you search out for the other 3 princes, so it completely speeds your deck just a little bit more to get guys to block. There's the other princes. So we're in turn 5 right now. So this is like halfway through until the Lich King's actually going to go off and win. So we'll see actually how this goes. Ideally, you want to get to turn 10, but you never know. You could end up just killing everyone else off. You never really know. Some people have also played against this deck. I've heard stories of people playing against this deck, and it was really hard, but they did it. So we'll see how it actually works out. So turn 6 comes around. We have some three dudes out on the field just to chill, right here. Yeah, that's 5. Draw. We drew a Valkyrie. So right now, I'm gonna drop the file down as a thing, and I'm gonna tap out and drop Valkyries, double Valkyries, so you have more giant guys to just sit there and block for you. You can swing with a Lich King if you want, but really you don't want to be swinging. You really just want to have a ton of blockers. One thing I did forget to mention about the princes, though, it doesn't allow your opponent to have any abilities. So all your opponents have vanilla characters, allies until these guys die. So these are really good, solid cards to have on the field. Drawing into turn 1 is really good, or turn 3 or 4 is really good. Turn 7, I obviously don't have a card in my hand right now, so draw Raging Spirits. So it's an ability. Your opponent reveals a hand, you put an ally from it under your control, which is crazy good. So I'm actually going to play that. It gives me more things to do ongoing, and then you attach it to... It has Assault 2, and it's a Scourge ally. So I'm going to just pick one of the biggest guys out of the bunch, out of their hands, and drop Raging Spirit on him. So he has Assault 2. So he swings for a lot. Pretty good, I think, in terms of that. Also, I'm going to initiate this quest, just to assume somebody died this turn, so we'll draw a card. Hey, Syndragosa, very cool. Okay, next turn, turn 8, draw into Ashes to Ashes, so we'll play it, and we'll tap out to play Syndragosa. Syndragosa just makes it so your opponent has to attack him every turn, whenever they attack, which is good. He's got 20 health, and it just draws fire off the Lich King. Turn 9, we'll come around, we'll draw. Fallen Champions, so obviously we'll play that. We can initiate, we can swing and then initiate this event by paying 2. Damage was dealt to allies this turn. Or to heroes this turn, I'm assuming. Let's just say we'll deal damage to like 3 heroes, so we'll draw 3 cards just for the sake of just whatever. So we drew into a bunch of cards. So that's cool. We'll also say we killed off a guy, so we'll initiate Ashes to Ashes, and draw 1 more card. So whatever, that's cool. So turn 10 comes around. Turn 10 comes around, the Lich King flips, so they have 1 turn to kill off the Lich King, otherwise it's game. At this point, I'm gonna drop just just as the grave. I'll for the sake of just because I can. This is 5, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna play Defile, Quake, and Deathbringer Sourfang just to make sure that I have enough guys to stop any attacks from coming through to the Lich King. Next turn, turn 11, Ashes to Ashes. It doesn't really even matter because the Lich King deals 300,000 damage, unpreventable shadow damage to each hero, which basically ends and wipes the raid. So that's how this deck is played out. Really, you just want to stall as much as possible to get to turn 10 or 11, and you basically win at that point. Key cards for this are the princes because they stall so much they don't allow your opponent to have any sort of abilities. As well. As well as a card called Quake that was in here, exhausting all of your opponent's hero or all of your opponent's cards. Just every card is exhausted, and I believe it's instant speed. Let me see. Yeah, it's an instant speed, so you just drop it. Um, it's really crazy, crazy, crazy good. Just doesn't let the healers go up. Also, this is good, and this is good. Just stalling for more damage, killing off guys. Really, just this deck does a lot of crazy damage. And stalls. So, yeah, this is how this deck is played. If you have any questions, please PM me or comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe to me to get my subscriber count up if you really like these videos. If you want to see some of the other ones, the other decks played, the other decks in here are Sylvanas, Lord Tyrion Fordring, as well, and then Jaina. Um, Jaina, right? I think that's her name. I forget. Yeah, Jaina. Yeah. So if you want to see any of those decks solitaired out as well, I'll be glad to do those. Just let me know. And so yeah, thanks for watching, guys.